Hi everyone, I'm Swathi from Indiahikes and you're watching Trek with Swathi. Today we're doing a bit of a very different walk and talk on the streets around our Indiahikes office in Bangalore. And I have with me a senior trek leader at Indiahikes, one of the most senior, and a trainer at Indiahikes. But more than that, we know him as a treasure trove of information. He's a walking, talking encyclopedia when it comes to trekking, because he is not only well-read, he has traveled across the world, and you ask him any question about any trek in the world and he'll tell you without Googling it. That is Diptarka for you. So today I'm having a chat with him about a few aspects of what it's like trekking in India and outside, and I'm covering a few topics in this series. So let's take a look. What about outside foreigners? What is their perception? Because you've trekked with a lot of outside people also. What is their perception?
So foreigners actually, they don't know much about treks in India. So they know the treks happens in Himalayas, they know treks happens in the Alps mountains in Central Asia, they know the treks happens in Caucasus, they know the treks happening in Alps, Tatras, in Europe, in Andes, in the Rockies in North America. But when they think about trekking in like Himalayas, there is actually, it's a very strange thing I felt. Not much about the treks from India are celebrated. One or two treks, that too like few treks from Kashmir or maybe Ladakh. And maybe Goechala Sandakphu, that might pop up, or like few of those legendary treks like Gomukh Tapovan. That is also very rare. When people think about trekking in the Himalayas, the first countries that come to their mind would be first Nepal, and second would be Pakistan.
Okay.
And Pakistan, they have 8,000 meter peaks more than us. Nepal has a lot of 8,000 meter peaks, and they are actually promoted their trekking trails based on that. Whereas we have not, I think, celebrated our parts of the Himalayas as much as they have done. And the diversity that we have in the Himalayas is actually a lot more. Because Nepal, what I have seen, like I have trekked in Nepal, most of the treks, there will be like tea house kind of culture is there. You will see big mountains, and then there are some forests there. The nature of the forests are more or less very similar.
Across treks.
Across treks, like if you go to the Annapurna region, there are a lot of like emphasis on this rhododendron forests on the trek. Whereas in our Himalayan treks that we have, like take for example Goechala. It has one of the most diverse forests of any of the Himalayan treks. I think not only Himalayan, any treks, I have not seen any forest so much diverse. Then the forests in Himachal Pradesh, it's very different. Like in Kinnaur, it's something different. Towards Manali side, it's different. You go to Lahore, the entire vegetation changes. Spiti, it's completely barren, Spiti and Ladakh. And Kashmir has a very different, I think Kashmir and Ladakh combines actually forms like the largest part of the entire Himalayan range compared to any other parts of the Himalayas. So yes, people know about this trek, these regions, but I feel like not many people are actually going for this trek, especially foreigners. Because if I see treks in Patagonia or in Peru or in Nepal, we'll see a lot of foreigners actually coming to do those treks. Whereas in the Indian Himalayas, like when I was leading treks and all, in my groups hardly I have found like foreigners. Even foreigners have not seen much foreigners doing DIY, like just a very like less number of people, and they are like very like experienced travelers. So for like travelers who are like starting to do treks in foreign countries, they are not choosing India as a trekking destination. And one of the factors that I feel could be a cause of this might be like most of the people, when they visualize India, they think it about, okay, India, I'm going for something to do with the culture. And for the culture, they just focus on like something to do with Taj Mahal, Varanasi, Rajasthan. Whereas what I feel is the real culture lies in the mountains, in those small villages that we have all across the Himalayas. Like if I take for example Uttarakhand itself, even within Uttarkashi district, we have so much variety in the culture, something to do with the local people's like traditions, their festivals, their dressing, the architecture, everything changes.
Yeah.
And that is something like a lot of the people from abroad who are visiting India, they're kind of missing out on.
I really wish India would be celebrated more, you know. How do you think that can happen where India's landscapes, India's diversity, like you're talking, how do you think that can be celebrated? Because there's so much potential there.
I think people like us only can celebrate it more. And with more and more Indians doing these treks, and if we kind of respect these places more, have this pride in this, because I have seen like a lot of these beautiful trails and all. There's a lot of like irresponsible littering and all which also happens, and that is one of the factors I feel like that kinds of hinders people coming to these places. But it is not only our country as well. I have seen a lot of littering in the trails happening in Nepal. Similarly, Indonesia, I have seen same problem. I have seen it in Peru and Bolivia as well.
Okay.
So it is something to do with like the civic sense of the people, and also something what the government can push in certain effort to enforce certain rules so that they are taken care of. So it's like everyone needs to be involved to
That's
make
true.
this happen.
So, if I have to ask you your message for trekkers in India and outside the world, what would your message to them be? As you coming as a trekker with so much experience, what is your message to them?
I would say like India is probably one of the top few countries in the world to do treks, because I think very few countries across the world, I can just handfully like name like 5-6 countries maximum, which can have so much of diversity in terms of landscapes, and in the landscape, the biodiversity and like the opportunity to do treks. India is like the top, and people should come and explore more and more treks in India.